All right, so today I'm going to teach you how to write some letters in cursive. At the top of your notebook, you can label it cursive A through E. We're going to do all those letters today. I'll show you the capital letters and the lowercase letters. After every letter I teach you, I'd like you to pause this video and try at least 5 on your own. Okay, let's get started with the letter A. So the thing about cursive letters is they are all going to connect within a word. So make sure you notice the swoops on my letters. So to start a cursive A, you're going to start about this point right below the tall line. For the cursive A, you're going to touch the top, swoop down, touch the bottom and close it, retrace and swing out. It basically looks like a regular lowercase a except it's tall. So that is a cursive A. Watch me do 4 more. I start a little below the line, touch the top, touch the bottom, close, swoop down. And that's your cursive A. Make sure that because it's capital, it touches the top and the bottom line. Now I'm going to show you a lowercase a. Now for the lowercase a, we are going to start with a swoop and end with a swoop so it can connect to other letters. So to do a lowercase a, I'm going to swoop and stop at this point, retrace, and come back out. So that is a lowercase a. Swoop, stop, retrace, close it, and swoop out. So if you see, it kind of looks like just a regular A, but it starts with a swoop. Swoop, stop, retrace, 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 and back out. All right, so pause the video and practice a capital A and lowercase a. All right, let's move on to the next letter, capital B. So capital B looks like the same printed, except it's a little bit fancier. So to do a capital B, we're going to start with a little swoop and then make a regular B, and then it swoops back out. So basically, it's a regular capital B, except you start with a swoop and end with a swoop. Now the lowercase b looks very different. So a lowercase b is a tall letter, so we're going to loop up, touch the top, loop down, come halfway up, and swoop out. It's strange, isn't it? So I guess if you closed it, you could sort of see a lowercase b, but this one's pretty different. Swoop up, touch the top line, swoop down, stop, swoop. And those are lowercase b's. All right, pause your video and practice at least 5 capital B's and 5 lowercase b's. Okay, let's move on to the C's. C's are pretty easy because they look just like the printed version. So, start at the top. There you go, C. Capital C. Just make sure it touches the top line and the bottom line like a regular printed C. The same is with the lowercase c. It looks exactly the same, except it does have to start with a swoop. So if you remember with the A, how we swooped up and stopped, that's basically what we're going to do with the lowercase c, okay? So you're making a regular C, but you have to start with a swoop. So we're going to start with a swoop, stop, retrace to make a regular C. Start with a swoop, stop, retrace regular C. Start with a swoop, stop, regular C. Make sure you stop at this point to make the rest of your C. All right, so pause the video and write 5 capital C's and 5 lowercase c's. All right, let's do the next one. Let's do a capital D. The capital D looks exactly the same, except it starts with a swoop. Start with your swoop, regular capital D, end with a swoop. Start with a swoop, regular D, end with a swoop. Start with a swoop, regular D, end with a swoop. Start with a swoop, regular D, end with a swoop. A lowercase d looks very similar, but once again, we're going to start with a swoop. That's right. So we're going to start with a swoop. Stop at that point that we did for the C and the A. Retrace, go all the way up to make your D, and back out. So notice it looks like a regular D, except we started with a swoop. Start with a swoop, stop. You have to stop at this point to then turn into your regular D. Okay, so pause the video and practice your capital D and lowercase d. All right, the last letter for today is the E. So the capital E has the same kind of shape, except instead of straight lines with points, it's just curves. And I know you're probably going to tell me it looks like a backwards 3, because that is what it looks like. So check out the capital E. We start here, and we're going to top loop, middle loop, and end loop. So you know how a printed E looks like this. We're doing the same thing, except instead of points, we just curve it, and yes, it does look like a backwards 3. Okay. A lowercase e is pretty simple. So we start with a swoop, we just loop up halfway and end with a swoop. Now if you covered up this part and turn your head sideways, there's that lowercase e, but this one's just a little more curly. Okay, make sure that you stop at that midline because this is a a lowercase e, and make sure your swoop isn't too big. So it's just a little loop you're doing for your lowercase e. Let me show you a bad example. If yours looks like this, that is too big. Wrong. Okay? Make sure it's not huge. It's just a nice little lowercase e. So there is your e's. Pause the video and practice your e's. All right, everybody, that's all the letters we're going to learn today. See you tomorrow.